Next on SportsCenter, John McEnroe and Team USA backed into a corner, came out swinging today. Tim Mayotte with the task of stopping Boris Becker. Hall of Fame Day as Cooperstown welcomes 3 new greats, Billy Williams, Catfish Hunter, and Ray Dandridge. And things are getting awfully tight at the top of the American League East. All this and more ahead on SportsCenter. Hello once again, everyone, and welcome to this edition of the ESPN SportsCenter. I'm John Saunders along with Chris Berman. We first want to tell everyone, those of you that were watching that Hall of Fame special, it will run in its entirety starting at midnight.
Midnight Eastern Time, the full-hour edition of the Hall of Fame induction ceremonies. You know there was supposed to be more sports festival coverage this afternoon on ESPN but because of tennis, which we'll tell you about in a moment. You may have missed some of the doings down in North Carolina, so a special edition recapping the afternoon of the Olympic Festival at 7:30 to 8 Eastern Time, and then at 8 we'll go to our regularly scheduled Olympic Festival telecast going up until SportsCenter. That gets you up to date until this show begins.
This all because of what went on at Hartford today, and it was really a tremendous affair. You thought a hockey game was going on to watch this match, but patriotism taking over everything.
A lot of flag waving, a lot of fun too, John. You're right. The stage was set yesterday. The U.S. Davis Cup team broke through the West German trenches with a doubles win, but they still trailed 2-1 in matches going into today's Davis Cup singles duels against the West Germans in Hartford. Live on ESPN, John McEnroe tried to draw the U.S. even as he faced off against Eric Yalen, the surprise Friday victor over Tim Mayotte. Hotly contested first set. Yalen impressed a lot of people this weekend, that's for sure. But McEnroe runs back with the lob. And Yalen will smash it away. 5-5 first set. Turning point with Mac leading 6-5 on the return. Backhand placed beautifully by McEnroe. Opened the door with 3 set points, and he took advantage when on return, McEnroe forced Yalen to volley in the net. First set to McEnroe, 7-5. Second set, Mac at the bottom of your screen with the forehand passing shot. Tatum likes it. John gets the crowd going. 6-2. McEnroe wins the second set. More of the same in the third set. McEnroe entices Yalen to come in and then lobs over his head, and inside the baseline, McEnroe knows he kisses the racket. He's up 5-1. And then on match point, look at this shot. Looked like he almost like a lacrosse shot. He placed it beautifully for the winner. 7-5, 6-2, 6-1. John McEnroe in straight sets. Not at the United States and West Germans earlier this afternoon at 2-all. That's a great sight. The man who's always there to play Davis Cup. No matter what you think of John McEnroe, he has been there time and time again as he beat Yalen to notch things at 2-all, and that's where we stood going into the finale.
And with McEnroe's inspired win over Yalen, the fate of U.S. Davis Cup tennis fell into the hands of Tim Mayotte. That's the irony of this series. It was Mayotte's upset loss to Yalen that had dug the original hole for Team USA. By this time, the Hartford Civic Center had totally thrown tennis etiquette out of the window. The U.S. Olympic hockey team could have been on the Civic Center surface because this was wild. They were cheering at every point and at every miss here. Boris Becker looking to close it out. Tim Mayotte looking to do the same. First set looked like Becker would get there first. Becker in the near court, and his backhand catches the net. Then Mayotte misses his backhand. Becker breaks him in the first. West Germany goes up 6-2. McEnroe shows concern, but the second set, Becker continued to roll in the near court with a pretty backhand down the line passing shot as it bounces in and wins the second set 6-3. Now in the third set, Mayotte comes out like a man possessed. Becker serving even at 1 apiece, nets his forehand. First break for Mayotte in the match. And as you can see, everyone is patriotic, but Becker comes right back. In the near court, Mayotte will come to the net, and Boris throws the terrific lob. Picture perfect, stays in, even at 2 apiece. But the U.S. team would not let Mayotte pull. Won't let him get down. They're urging him on, and he responded. Now at 5 apiece, Boris follows his serve, and Mayotte slices the backhand deep. Becker lets it go. It's good, and he's broken. 6-5. The crowd loves it. Next game, Boris looks to even it. Watch the serving by Tim Mayotte as he just will not let things come back for Boris Becker. 3 consecutive aces, and Mayotte takes the third set 7-5. And he's fired up. Fourth set, even at 2 games apiece. Boris is serving. Mayotte comes to the net, and then Boris is the one who nets the backhand. 3-2 U.S. Mayotte takes the fourth set, 6-4. The fifth set, the tension is on the line. You can see it. On the serve, Becker up 3-2. Mayotte is serving, follows into the net. His forehand sails over the baseline, and that's the break. 4-2, West Germany is up. Move to match point. Mayotte is serving. Backhand by Mayotte, sailed into the net, and it's all over. 6-2, 6-3, 5-7, 4-6, 6-2. Boris Becker and West Germany stay for the first time in Davis Cup history. The Americans will not be in the championship round. They must go through zonal competition.
This one was my most difficult match so far in my career under all those circumstances how it was after Wimbledon, having really a tough half of a year, having bad luck, and I just needed those 2 matches, and the way it was in America under 14,000 people yelling and screaming and what the hell they did, and it was the most difficult match of my life.
So Boris Becker probably goes through the 2 toughest matches he's ever faced over one weekend. 6-2, 6-3, 5-7, 4-6, 6-2. He pulls out the victory over Tim Mayotte of the United States. So let us explain exactly what this means. It is the first time in history that the U.S. will not be in the Davis Cup championship round. They must go to zonal competition.
It's kind of the B group, and what has to happen is the United States, we're talking 88 now, they cannot play for the 88 Cup, but in zonal play in 88. If they win 2 rounds, if the United States wins 2 rounds, then they are eligible to get into the World Group or the A Group and be eligible for the 89 Davis Cup. I know this is only July 87, but we're already talking SIA for the 1988 Davis Cup. We already were eliminated for 87. So that's basically zonal is like the B and the World is like the A. And by the way, I guess Nicky Pilic is looking... Well, he certainly didn't make the wrong move by resting Becker in the doubles yesterday.
Yeah, people were questioning whether or not that was the right move, but as it turns out, Boris Becker, you said it, when you get down 2-0 to Boris Becker, there's not much hope, even though Tim Mayotte did put on a tremendous performance.
Provided a lot of hope, but he's playing Boris Becker. He could be the best in the world. So a great and valiant try by the United States Davis Cup team, but alas, not going to happen this year or next year. Meanwhile, while heroics were plentiful in Hartford, they took the day off in Edison Township, New Jersey, because rain swooped in over the steamy U.S. Women's Open course, curtailing play before any of the leaders teed off. Only 8 pairs even reached 9 holes before play was swamped before the noon hour. This is how they stand, in case you have forgotten. Ayako Okamoto will tee off tomorrow with the 1-shot lead over the Briton Laura Davies. Martha Nowsey is 2 shots off the pace. Dee Dee Roberts and Joanne Carner, Big Mama, 3 shots off the pace. And so all the leaders will tee off tomorrow, and they hope to get that round in its entirety. The weather's supposed to be good tomorrow. That's what will happen. Very quickly, the Buick Open. Robert Wren missed tying a PGA record by 1 stroke, but he won the Buick Open 26 under par through the 4 days there. We'll have highlights and more golf later on. Today was that once-a-year time at Cooperstown, New York, when the clock stood still and baseball's best were young again. Induction Day 1987 saw 4 men share the spotlight at baseball's Hall of Fame. The 2 men that everybody knows about, Jim Catfish Hunter of the Oakland A's and the New York Yankees. He played for Finley and Steinbrenner. That's an interesting group right there. Catfish, Hall of Fame pitcher, and Billy Williams of the Chicago Cubs. Never really had that shot in the World Series, but boy, what a player he was over the years. And he is in the Hall of Fame. Ray Dandridge, a star in the Negro Leagues, never got his shot in the majors. And announcer Jack Buck, longtime voice of the St. Louis Cardinals. Our congratulations, our heartfelt congratulations to all 4 of those gentlemen. And again, you can see the Hall of Fame induction ceremonies in their entirety as the sunshine was over Cooperstown today. And you will see that at midnight tonight Eastern.
A long time overdue for Mr. Billy Williams, certainly. Stay with us here on the SportsCenter. Chris and I will be back in just a moment with the rest of the day's play on the links.
But first, the Yankees trying to protect their slim lead in the AL East. We're wondering if they'd ever figure out a way to get some hits. And we'll be back with more. And these are other Davis Cup results from today.
SportsCenter is being brought to you by Moet, France's best-loved champagne.
On to baseball now. In Chicago, Rich Dotson owned the pitcher's mound through 7 innings at Comiskey Park. Not only did he own the mound, he owned the New York Yankees, and he owned a shot at baseball immortality. First things first, he got support. Bottom of the first against Ron Guidry. Leadoff man for the Pale Holes is Gary. Read us a bedtime story. He sends this pitch back, and gone. 1-0 White Sox. Yankees, meanwhile, could not buy a hit when they hit the ball hard, like this shot by Easler. Greg Walker is there to make the play. Rich 280 Z Dotson purring into the 8th inning. Leadoff man in the 8th. A perfect game until now. Gets Winfield swinging. No walks, no man on an error, or no hits until 1 out in the 8th. Mike Pagliarulo lines a single to right to end the perfect game. Easler then doubles. How often do you see it? You lose the perfect game, you lose the no-hitter, and you lose the shutout, and you lose the ball game with 1 pitch. Dan Pasqua, 3-run home run, and then in the 9th, Gary Hospital Ward and Dave Winfield homer. And so the Yankees almost getting perfect gamed, if I just invented a verb. They win over Chicago by the score of 5-2, and it was important for them because Detroit was also winning. Does Walt Terrell like to pitch at home or what? 26-7 lifetime at Tiger Stadium. Detroit beat California 6-2. Jim Greenpeace Whale Wander with his major league home run today, first one, and Detroit beats California, stay a game behind the Yankees.
The Toronto Blue Jays, meanwhile, still chasing the Yankees in the East, were at home this weekend facing the leaders in the West. The Minnesota Twins trying to protect a 2-game edge over the Oakland Athletics, and they had already taken a game from the Jays at home. Danny Gladden with this single to left off Jimmy Key, past the drawn-in infield. Steve Lombardozzi trots in. 2-1, the Twins are on top. But bottom of the 5th, George Bell ropes this Blyleven pitch. The left Mosby comes in. The throw comes in and hits Lloyd Mosby. He is safe. And the fans love what's going on to the Toronto Blue Jays. Still 2-2 in the 8th. 2 gone. Blyleven uncorks a wild pitch. His 3rd of the game as Garth Orge is up at the plate. George Bell comes in and scores the go-ahead run. Orge would then have an RBI double to make it 4-2. Meanwhile, Jimmy Key nearly goes the distance, 8 2/3, as he strikes out Davidson. And Witt goes to McGriff here for the putout. The Jays win it 4-2 is the final, so they stay a game and a half in back of the Yankees. Jimmy Key, a 4-hitter over those 8 2/3. Tom Henke came in, got the final out of the game for his 21st save. In Milwaukee, the Brewers hosting the Athletics. Oakland trying to pick up some ground. They would not. Milwaukee wins at 7-4. Interesting note here, Paul Molitor tied an American League record when he stole 2nd, stole 3rd, and then stole home on a double steal with Robin Yount. Milwaukee wins at 7-4.
In Baltimore, the Orioles were looking to make it an even dozen in a row. They were playing the stumbling Kansas City Royals, and in the land of the crab cakes, everybody was in the mood. I mean, you're looking for that bottle of Love Potion number 9 if you're at Memorial Stadium. Come on, come on. Meanwhile, Cal Ripken Sr. feeling a little different bottle of Love Potion number 9 when he was talking to the umpires. In the 3rd inning, Ken Dixon delivers. No, Lonnie Smith delivers. Sends this one back, and it is gone. Royals lead at 1-0. Smith 4 for 5 today, 2 RBIs. Meanwhile, Charlie Leibrandt pitching perfect. Bottom of the 3rd, K's Ken Gerhardt. In the 5th inning, Leibrandt working to the always dangerous and the hero last night, Eddie Eat, Drink, and B. Murray. Gets him looking on a backwards K. In the 6th, no one has a hit yet, 1 out, until Gerhardt ends the no-hit bid with a base hit to right, but Leibrandt did not give up another one until 2 were out in the 9th. Charlie Leibrandt ended up going the distance with the 2-hitter and ends it nicely by making the assist himself on the Ripken bounce out. Brett Salazar drove in the other 2 Royal runs. Smith had 2 RBIs, and Kansas City finally wins. Baltimore finally loses. Final score by this was 4-0. Leibrandt is now 10-8. At Boston, Dick Williams used to manage the Red Sox at 67. Hasn't liked it this weekend. Red Sox swept the M's. Roger Clemens, 14 strikeouts today. Boston 11, Seattle 1. Dwight Evans, homer number 20. Wade Boggs, homer number 18. And in his 2nd game, Sam Little Bighorn with the 2nd home run in the majors. At Cleveland, Texas jumped on the Tribe 11-3. And Cavilla had 2 homers. Bob Bulldog Brower had 2 homers. Ruben High Sierra had a home run. Paul Kilgus' first major league win? He honestly did have his first major league win. We're pausing for dramatic effect.
That's right. Stay with us. Chris and I will return in just a moment. But first, time once again for our Norelco Trivia Quiz. And tonight's question is, who holds the major league record for the most career sacrifice flies? If you know the answer, call us at 1-800-243-0006. In Connecticut, the number is 1-800-854-9489. The fifth eligible caller with the correct answer will win a Norelco Rototrack Razor. We'll announce the winner and give you the answer on SportsCenter tonight at 11. Tonight's winner will also be eligible for our Grand Prize drawing at the end of the year. You can win 2 tickets to the Super Bowl, plus airfare and hotel accommodations. Participants must live within the 50 United States. Canadians not eligible. For a set of complete contest rules, send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Rules, ESPN Inc., 355 Lexington Avenue, New York, 10017.
Comes 9 months too late for the Houston Astros, but they did unto the New York Mets as the Mets did unto them last October in the National League Championship Series at New York. Bottom of the 8th, 1-1.
I would say for sure.
Bases loaded. Why is Dave Smith in? Because Charlie Kerfeld loaded up the bases. But Smith can't get Kevin McReynolds. Ball 4. Dykstra scores. Mets lead it 2-1. Orozco in the 9th, gets 2 outs, but then gives up 2 hits. And Gerald Young is up with the Mets still leading 2-1. And he is going to dink one behind Hernandez. Fair ball. Ken Caminiti scores. We're tied at 2. Roger McDowell was all warmed up, but they stay. Lefty Orozco to righty Billy Hatcher. Wrong move. Hatcher sends one back. 3-run home run. 4-run 9th after 2 are out. And Davey Johnson seeing it slip away. After they won the Twinetter on Friday night, the Mets lose Saturday. They lose Sunday to Houston. And Houston wins it today by the score of 5-2. And Houston may be moving up the ladder. We shall see. Meanwhile, at San Francisco, Cards and Giants double dip, 3-3 in the 10th. Todd Worrell walks Chili Davis, now 2 on in the 10th. And the natural coming up. Whitey Herzog worried about Will Clark, as well he should. Boom. Was there a question about this? Forget it. It is gone. 3-run home run, bottom of the 10th. As the Giants, about the first team this year to make the Cardinals mortal. Giants have won the first 3 games of this 4-game set, winning game 1 today by the score of 6-3. Gereltz wins it in relief over Todd Worrell. Meanwhile, game number 2, and that's just underway. The Cards lead the Giants 1-0. Greg Matthews, the youngster, going for St. Louis. Mike Izod Lacoste pitching for the San Francisco Giants. And the Giants and the Astros loving this score because Montreal beat NL West pace-setting Cincinnati behind a shutout by Floyd Yeomans, 6-0. Jeff Reed with a 3-run homer. Tim Purple Rains and Tim Eli Wallach also had home runs. And so, as we stand, the Giants are a game and a half out, and Houston is also moving up. They are 2 games out. The Giants could be 1 out if they win the second game of the double dip.
Tommy Lasorda came out of the dugout yesterday and coached third base to try and get something going with his Dodgers against the Cubs. It worked, so Tommy was not about to give up on a good thing this afternoon, hosting the Cubs once again. And he has runners at first and second for, yes, your third base coach, Tommy Lasorda. Cubs starter Jamie Moore uncorks a curveball. It only goes 55 feet, goes through Davis's legs. Steve Sachs hustling all the way from second and scores. Marshall had the walk. Pedro Guerrero goes to third. Mickey Hatcher then delivers Guerrero, hitting a grounder. The 4-6-3 double play. No, because Hatcher dives in. He's safe, and Guerrero scores 5-4 Dodgers. Top of the 6th, 5-5, bases loaded with Cubs. Andre Dawson hits the soft grounder to short. Dave Anderson fires the first, but the Hawk hustles in there. He's safe. Paul Noche scores, puts the Cubs up 6-5. Bottom of the 6th, Dodgers come right back with runners at first and second. And Steve Sachs comes up, rips this one down the left field line. Tito Landrum comes in to score easily. The former Cardinal and former Baltimore Oriole. Ken Landro turns it on all the way from first. The ball bounces away from Mumphrey. And he scores, and things are shaking up in the world of Gene Michael. And Chicago loses this one 7-6 is the final. Holton picks up the win. DePino the loss. Young picks up the save. Atlanta and Philadelphia. Milt Thompson, Vaughn Hayes, and Mike Schmidt hit back-to-back home runs off Doyle Alexander in the 8th inning. No, not back, but back-to-back. And they pick up the victory 7-3. Pittsburgh and San Diego, the Padres. Here come your Padres, 7-4. They beat Pittsburgh. Luis Salazar with a 2-run home run. Whitson picks up his first victory in his last 6 starts.
The not-so-downtrodden pods anymore. Still to come, racing of all sorts, so stay with us. They rode their bicycles for 25 days over 2,485 miles of terrain, starting in West Berlin, ending today on the Champs-Élysées in Paris. It took 115 hours, 27 minutes, and 42 seconds, but in the end, the Tour de France was colored Irish green. Today's final stage was won by an American, Jeff Pierce, and he was first. Steve Bauer finished second in today's final stage of the Tour de France. First time they have gone 1-2, have North Americans in history. The overall standing goes to Stephen Roche, Ireland's first winner ever in the Tour de France, beats Pedro Delgado by 40 seconds. Jean-Francois Bernard of France finishes third, but Roche, the man of the day, as he wins the overall Tour de France, ending today on the Champs-Élysées. Jeannie Longo of France won the women's side.
Bill Elliott, for the 6th straight year, held the pole position for today's Talladega 500. But Elliott didn't think he'd have an easy time of it today. Slower cars had everyone expecting a close race. And, in fact, it was not that easy for Bill Elliott. However, he did pick up the victory, averaging well over 171 miles per hour. Davey Ellison in second. Dale Earnhardt finished in third. At the German Grand Prix, Nelson Piquet, the winner from Brazil, 1 hour, 21 minutes, and plus average speed of over 220 miles per hour.
I'm not sure what kind of car Robert Wren drives, but the man certainly was in the driver's seat of the Buick Open. The PGA non-winner, winner of only 16 thou this season going into today, was chasing a legend today by the name of Ben Hogan at his record of 27 under par for a 4-shot event on the par 5 13. Second shot now with a 4-iron on a par 5 13. Yeah, this is an eagle range, guys and gals. And then Wren strides up to the green, a Grand Blanc with your basic tap-in eag to go 27 under par. The man who would finish in second, I mean, when you go 18 under par, you expect to win first prize. Dan Pohl knew that he wouldn't, but he also knew he knew how to play some great golf that set up a birdie. Wren had a couple of bogeys, believe it or not, but on the 17th, the 5-iron on the par 3, this is how he played for 4 days at the Buick Open. The crowd's like a football crowd. Now, you tell me how soon they yell. I mean, it's like a football crowd for Robert Wren as he rolls in the birdie at 17. He pars 18, barely missed a chip for a birdie, and so 26 under par, communications major, wins $108,000. I mean, I'm not a communications major, and I'd change places with the guy. He should be doing our job. At any rate, the record of 27 under par for a 4-hole event, Ben Hogan did it in 1945. Mike Suchak did it in 1955. 3 others have done it in a 5-hole event. He barely misses it, but wins $108,000. Congratulations.
That is amazing. Stay with us. Chris and I will return in just a moment to wrap up this edition of the SportsCenter.
Special edition of the Olympic Festival is next. They will take it all the way up until the hour edition of the SportsCenter at 11 when we have more time.
That's right. We'll be back at 11 o'clock. Rejoin Chris and I then. Thank you very much for watching. Good night.
SportsCenter has been brought to you by Busch Beer, the beer with a taste as smooth as its name. And by Coast Soap. Feel alive with Coast.